Welcome to Stop the Madness. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Stop the Madness. I'm your host, The Kid Plot. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Of course, I'm here with my co-host, Isaac Cotto.
Yo.
We are back in the building with another great video for you guys. But before we get started, make sure you like the video, share the video, comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel. And help us get to 3,000 subscribers. We are very close. How close are we, Cotto?
I don't know. We're like 200 away or something like that.
Yes.
It keeps ticking along.
We're very close. So help us get there. We're going to keep making these videos for you guys so that way you guys can see we ain't playing. We consistent. We have a special guest in the building.
Where's the sound effect?
Where's the sound effect?
Uh-oh. Hey.
Get some horns. But yeah, we got Karen in the building.
Hi, guys.
Have a nice little conversation with us today. We're talking about relationships. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. The video of discussion is about picking your partner. All right. So we're gonna check out this video, react to this video.
Picking your partner?
Yeah.
Potential. That you're in a relationship.
Hold on. So yes. So it's about picking your partner and picking the right partner and kind of seeing how that dynamic works once you make that selection. Here we go.
Potential. That you're in a relationship with a fantasy in your head and you're not actually in a relationship with the person as they are. Rule number one in the let them theory is that human beings only change when they feel like it. And you will never be able to change another human being. And the single biggest mistake that I see with anybody dating or anybody in a relationship is that you're holding on to the potential and you're living in a fantasy in your head and you're not accepting reality, which is why you need to let them be who they are and then decide what you're going to do about it. Mistake number two is that you're with somebody and your values aren't aligned. You don't want the same things. And yet you're convincing yourself that eventually this person's going to come around and convert to your religion, or they're going to come around and they're going to want to have children. And the research is very clear on this. If you have to give up your dreams in order to stay with this person, this is not going to work. And the reason why this is not going to work is because you will grow to resent the other person because you will blame them for being the reason why you didn't get to go to medical school or you didn't get to move over to the other side of the planet and have this adventure, or you didn't get to have kids. When you compromise your own values for the sake of a relationship and you give up on your dreams for the sake of staying with somebody else, the other person isn't to blame. You are.
That's pretty deep.
That is really deep. Dang.
All right. Hey, since Karen's the guest, we're gonna let Karen kick that off. What do you is that? Let's pose that as a question. Do you believe it's true that if you have a partner and whatever the value set that you have, right? Okay, I believe in family. Check. I believe in sending the kids to college. Check. I believe we should go to church every Sunday. If that's what it is, check. Okay, cool. Stuff in the bedroom. Is it a check? If one of those things are off, right? Is that something you say, okay, this is not my person? Like what do you think about that? What she's just saying? If your dream, you don't pursue your dreams because of this person, whatever that is, it's because, like she said, in this case, you use medical school, whatever it is, things that eternally is something you want to do, and you're going to deny yourself the ability to fulfill that desire, whatever that case, because of this person. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
Yeah, I think she got really deep in that video, just saying that, if your dreams are being compromised because of the person that you're with, absolutely, it's a deal breaker. It's done. It's over with. Because if, like, she used med school, if med school is your thing and that's what you want to do with your partner's like, absolutely not. That's not where it's too much time in school, too much time in whatever studying, and that's just a deal breaker for me. Then yes, leave that person for your dream. However, I do think that certain things, like how you said, you brought up different topics, certain things that can be compromised down the line, depending on what your partner says, or that conversation has. But overall, yes. Is it a deal breaker? Yes. If you're having to leave yourself behind because this person can't see you in the light that you see yourself, definitely leave that. Plenty of fucking fish in the sea, definitely.
Okay. What do you think, kid?
Well, for me, it's, I mean, I could understand what she's saying sounds good on paper. Like, that's the way it should be, right? Just like a monogamous relationship sounds good on paper. That's what people tend to see the right way to move, right? But at the same time, there's another side. So the other side would be, there's a lot of evidence that shows that women are at their happiest with a family, with kids, being a housewife, taking care of the household, taking care of the family. Supposedly, there's a statistic shows that women are their happiest in that position. So having a career is not where women are typically at their happiest. That's something is new. That's a modern day thinking. That's an equality of men and women thinking. That's more of both, partners are chasing a career, and then, you have babysitters and whatnot. But, a relationship, if you're trying to get married and if you're trying to be with somebody in a long-term relationship, the word is, I'm not saying I agree with it, but the word is that the man gets the bread, the woman holds down the house. That's your nuclear relationship. That's your nuclear household. And they're saying that men are at their happiest there and women are at their happiest there. So I believe that it could be something that if your career, now that's where I say that it sounds good on paper, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If your what you want to do, if your desire is, I want this career, this is what I want to study. If he doesn't agree, then he's not the one for me. That's fine. But you got to also keep in mind, what type of guy do you want? Because you have guys that will take care of everything where you don't need a career. Now, if your mindset is, yeah, but what if that doesn't work out? I need to have something to fall back on, right? If that's your mindset, then you do what you got to do, whatever you feel is best for you. And the guy in that relationship is going to do what he's going to do, whatever he thinks is best for him. Normally, successful guys don't want their wives to work. They want them to chill. I got everything, baby. That's normally what successful guys want. So a woman that also wants a career but also wants a successful guy, there's going to be a conflict. Because you're with a guy that's successful that wants to hold down and take care of everything, but yet you want to have a career and you want to do other stuff, when that guy doesn't want you to play that role. He wants you to play the role of housewife while he plays the role of husband, which is the role that you wanted me to play. But now you want a career. You want to be able to earn big dollars in that career, medical school, whatever the case may be. That compromises our roles in our relationship, right? That's what it seems like to me. So I think that it becomes a little bit of a conflict of interest.
But is it a deal breaker? Like, whatever that issue is, does that make it a deal breaker?
Well, for some guys, I think that it does make it a deal breaker, because they're looking at it like, okay, you're not focused on the family. You're not focused on me and the kids. You're focused on your career. So I'm going to suffer the consequences of you focusing your time on career and not on me and the kids, the family. That's what I've seen. I've seen that be said by a lot of successful men. Now, if you're with a guy that's not very successful, I need 2 incomes in this household. He's going to be okay with that. But then it goes back to, hey, woman, hey, wife or girlfriend, do you want that type of guy that is not in the successful position to take care of everything, where you got to bring something financially to the table? Is that the type of guy that you're with? You know what I'm saying? That's the question. So what do you think? Do you think that what I'm saying makes sense, or what's your thoughts?
It makes sense to a point, but let me ask you a question that is more like, we were speaking about how you love someone who's in the gym. Mm-hmm. So you love someone who's in the gym, and I think what she's referring to is, like, let's say you love someone who's in the gym. This person that you've been dating for is a constant, quote unquote, gym rat or whatnot. And then somehow, some way, something happens that kind of alters her life where she's just no longer interested. Is it a deal breaker? Like, let's say maybe it's an injury and she can no longer go to the gym.
That's different.
Not a thing. Okay. And what if it's an injury or whatnot, then it's not a deal breaker.
No.
If she never touches the gym again.
Nah, it's not a deal breaker because it's something out of her control.
But what if she just decides I'm not doing this anymore?
So yeah,
I think it's different what she was saying. Mm-hmm. I think what she was saying is, say, let's use Kid Plaza as an example. Mm-hmm. Gym rat, lives a gym, last 25 years. All he's done is consistently go to the gym, work, go to the gym, vacation, go to the gym, everything's to go to the gym. Meets girl X, and she says, I like going to the gym. I've always thought about going to the gym. And, you know, like I like to work out, you know. And but right now, she's a 8 out of 10, naturally God-given talent. And she says, yeah, you know, I like going to the gym. But at the end of the day, she's not a gym person, right? She talks a good game. And then he falls in love. They have an amazing relationship. She looks great, but she's not a gym person. Yeah. She talks about going to the gym. She talks about diets, and she takes a spinning class every once in a while. Then they get married, and guess what? She doesn't go to the gym. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Things start to happen. All of a sudden, she's past 30, and she's gaining weight. And then, you know, she's not as attractive, but she's not going to the gym anymore. Mm-hmm. Is that a mistake on his part? And I think that's the scenario that she's talking about. Mm-hmm. You accept a person knowing the things that are important to you, and you bypass those things that are important to you because you're in love with this person, and you accept those faults, and you're like kind of like, she likes going to the gym. She told me she likes going to the gym. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, she doesn't go to the gym. It's every once in a while, but she looks good. Is that something that makes Kid Plot say, damn, I fucked up?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the question.
I think so, because if it's that deep and it's a part of how you said 25 years of doing the same shit and like finding someone that you can have that hobby with, you know, it's a big part of your life. And then this person, you know, doesn't follow through, then yeah, definitely.
Or are you asking me or?
Yeah. I want to see what in that scenario, like say that, because I think the issue is, right, relationships are complicated. When emotions get involved, you fall in love, and guess what? The ugliness about the person, you kind of paintbrush it like, well, you know what? It's not that bad. She says she likes to go to the gym. Right. She did a Pilates class. I love her. Yeah. But then the reality sits in when you're 5, 6, 7 years into the relationship, and she's bitching at Kid Plot because he's going to the gym all the time.
Yeah. No, you're right. Listen, people change. People end up picking up new hobbies. People end up changing a little bit their personality. So that's a given. Like, we know that's going to happen. I think for me, it's more initially, if we get into a relationship, we're dating, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, you're going to start learning more and more and more from that person, what they like, what they dislike, what they like to do, what they don't like to do, right? What makes them tick. You're going to start learning that. Now, that's why I'm a big believer in, I won't get married with somebody within the first year of being their boyfriend, of being their girlfriend, or her being my girlfriend, me being her boyfriend. I won't marry them within the first year. It would have to be some time invested. I ain't gonna lie, I'd even prefer living with my girlfriend first so I can see what the living conditions are like before I say, okay, here's the ring. I want to get married, right? Because that way you get a chance to learn everything. What it is to sleep, wake up, go to bed, like everything. Wake up and go to bed with this person every single day. You get a chance to learn from that person on that level.
So is it a deal breaker?
So for me, yeah, I'm getting there. So for me, if they start changing to the point where, okay, they're going to the gym in the beginning 2 times a week, now they go 0 times a week, it's not going to be a deal breaker for me, because if I decided to marry you already, I'm already in love with you. I'm not going to marry you if I'm not in love with you. Like, I don't marry just because you're good in bed. I'm going to marry you because I fell in love with you, right? So once I fall in love with you, there's going to be things that I'm going to have to compromise. So even though the gym is a big deal for me, at that point, we're already married. Now we got to figure out a way to get you back in the gym. Can we?
I think you're 100% correct.
Yeah, I'm going to try to work it out.
And I think that's what that video doesn't explain. She makes it sound like, no, you need to, pick the person. And if they're not going to, no. She doesn't talk about like what happens when you end up falling in love. And then you're like like I said, all the ugly spots you kind of just paint over.
Right.
But 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the road, guess what? That paint falls off, and those ugly spots are there, and you're like, fuck, I married this person. This is supposed to be forever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a conversation at that point, or how do you?
I think you know it's fair. It's fair to have the conversation, and bring it to light. But at the same time, I think you need to weigh the true value of the relationship. What is the most important thing, right? So for whatever reason, you did fall in love. You knew whatever that issue was, they weren't 100% on board with that issue, but you glossed over it. Here you are. And then at that point, you really got to start debating, like, how important is that issue versus the other pros that this person brings to the table, and kind of make that decision. Like, yeah, I'm going to have to compromise on this because this other things that come to the table is what I really value. You know, it could be a scenario. There's scenarios where people are like, yeah, I don't want to have kids. You don't want to have kids. But 3 years later, I'm like, man, I want to have a kid. And that person is like, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
If it's that really that deep, cause I've seen cases where people get divorced based on that issue of, no, I want to have kids. She didn't want to have kids.
Can I say something? I have a kid, and my husband doesn't have any children. And when we got together, one thing for me was this is so hypocritical. I hate to even say it, but like, I don't date men with kids. But it's only because of the things that I've experienced before, like the drama and all that stuff. Like, I can't. I'm too old for that now. But now, when we first dated, it was black and white. We're not having kids. It's just black and white. Now, my brother-in-law had decided to have a child, and now he's all like, well, one wouldn't hurt. And I'm like, no. Remember what we said? We said no kids, because I was...
In that case, he would have to decide.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think at that point, I would be like, do I allow this person to live out that one part of life? That's a big part of life, because
major.
I've experienced it. Most of the world experiences parenthood. So it's like, do I allow this person to have that? Or am I selfish and say, we stuck to this and we said that this wasn't happening?
Come on, Karen. You could put on 50, 60 pounds for a few months. What's the big deal?
It's not that. It's a lot harder than people think.
You have a baby, 50, 60 pounds later. You got a baby. You got to wake up every 2 hours. What's the big deal?
I can't. I just feel like it's just, and I think that's a big one right there. Is just like I said, once my brother-in-law had that baby, and he just saw that baby and how cute it was, and he's like, we can do this. I'm like, let's start with the puppy and see how we take care of the puppy, you know, and see how that works out, because that was my only compromise at the time.
I mean, look, I'll tell you, I know for a fact in other countries you can kind of rent the belly type of thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can pay whatever money and put the baby in someone else's belly, and they have the baby for you, and you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Those options do exist nowadays. I know they do it in Dominican Republic, Mexico, Colombia.
A surrogacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother was a surrogacy.
Yeah, so you could it's very possible, but that's outside the show. But that's a scenario where he would have to say, is that important to me? Or he says, no, I accept this compromise. I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
That's where that video, I don't think she makes it real black and white. Like, no, but sometimes when those emotions get involved and you're in love, you're like, I love this person, this, that, the other. Me and my wife, one of the issues that me and my wife have it's not a big issue, but I'm big on legacy, right? Like, I want to leave X amount of money and assets for my kids. My wife is like, hey, you getting old? I'm 15 years older than my wife. She's like, hey, we're going to spend this money and we're going to enjoy our life. And we'll leave something for the kids that if they fuck it up, they dumb. But we'll leave something to the kids that is going to be way better than most. But nah, if you got $10, we're going to burn 8. Get the kids too, right? Like, we gonna enjoy these things. Yeah. But I'm like, no.
That's definitely not his mindset.
I want to leave $6 to the kids and let's go play with 4. Okay. That's my mindset. And that's kind of like the battle and debates we have all the time, because that's a major issue for me. Like, I am very big on leaving legacy and
game,
passing down and changing life cycle of family and all that. That's a very big issue for me.
Mhm.
But for her, she's like, these kids get this money. They're going to burn through it. They ain't going to give a shit about you when you're gone. They're going to burn through it. They're going to do dumb things. Like, let's leave them something that if they manage it well, they'll be very successful.
Because they ain't have to work for it, so they go burn it.
So, like we go back and forth all the time on that issue. But it's one of those things. It's a serious thing for me. I take it very seriously. I'm going to be 50 years old. Hulk Hogan just died at 71.
Oh yeah,
right.
And he left his daughter nothing because she didn't want anything.
It, right?
Yeah,
so
she didn't want.
But
anything.
you don't know what can happen, and I don't want to feel like I didn't leave the next generation the opportunity to do very well. So that's an example of like, do you accept it? Do you compromise with it? Do you how do you move on? I know what she wants to do. I know what I want to do. But the devil's in the details. But you don't get that when you fall in love. You don't get all those details. The nitty gritty.
Yes,
You got some freaky ideations. You like to be tied up, and someone's against violence. It's like, I would never tie you up. That's violent. Like, what are you talking about? But it's your deepest desire.
Yeah.
Hey, you for the last 5 years, you had a relationship where you got tied up every day of the week. And like, now you're with this guy. He never wants to tie you up. Do you accept it? Don't accept it. That's the complications of relationships, right?
I have a question for Karen because I feel like you're about to sign off. I got a question. Hold on. So Karen, so if someone offered you $1 million to have sex with him, right?
With me.
With you, yeah.
Okay.
They offered you $1 million to have sex. A, would you do it? And B, if you did it, do you think your husband would leave you?
Oh my God.
Damn.
Why? I mean, that's she's gonna say no.
Just be honest.
Okay.
It's $1 million, not everybody. But I just want to know: would you take it?
There's a movie called, for your kids out there, like about 25 years ago, there's a movie called Indecent Proposal, right? And the story is a husband and wife, and they're working class, they're struggling, and he's a writer, I think, and he goes to this event, and there's this amazing looking guy. He's Robert Redford, amazing. He looks like fucking James Bond, and they're playing pool, and he tells the guy, "I want to give you $1 million for one night with your wife."
Ooh, well,
and they're struggling.
Okay, wait. Let me give you my answer. If he's asking my husband,
no.
Okay.
He's asking you.
That was
the husband would say no.
No,
the husband would say no.
He's asking you, and it's up to you whether you want to ask your husband.
Are we broke? Are we?
Where you're at right now?
Where I'm at right now, I would have to say no because he would leave me.
He
would leave me.
Okay, there you go.
So let me ask you this: would you ask him before saying no, or would you just say no?
I would ask.
And what do you think his answer would be?
No, absolutely not. But I would ask because.
All right, that's good. That's what you should do. At least ask.
Right, I would ask on a Friday after he's had some drinks.
No, hold on. So the day there's an issue with money and they're fighting about money, she's gonna bring that shit up every time.
We had the out for this.
Yes.
So you don't think that he would be okay with it? You don't think that I mean, you're saying that he would say no, but you don't think if you said, "Hey, babe, it's $1 million, a cash transfer."
He won't be like, "Okay, this 1.5."
He's gonna wire me this money. He said, "Look, it's not gonna go over a 15-minute session. After that, we're millionaires."
Yes. Oh my God, that's crazy. But no. Yeah, no. I really feel like he would say no. But if he did say yes, I'm down.
So if he said yes, you would do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair.
What if he's 350 pounds?
Sloppy
Joe.
Making this harder.
Sloppy Joe, ugly Joker. Not a good looking
hairy chest. Kind of,
You don't care about the hair. Let's say he's a fat sloppy Joe ass nigga.
Damn.
It's $1 million.
350 pounds.
$1 million.
Nasty. $1 million.
Yes.
The faster you make them finish, the quicker it's over.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And he's okay with it. My husband's okay with it.
Your husband said it's fine. It's $1 million.
Fuck.
What we were talking about?
Fuck it.
Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man.
Everybody got a price.
Everybody got a price.
1 million. Fuck it.
There you
That's
go.
what it is.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Hey, nobody can be
1
mad at
million.
that. Hey, ask the OnlyFans girl that got Shannon Sharp for $23 million.
Literally.
She got a big old paycheck, $23 million.
And retired.
And put a retirement video on OnlyFans because she got that big ass check.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll wrap it up with that. Hey, if anybody got $1 million, please email.
Stop.
You already know what it is.
Slide in my husband's DM first.
Stop the madness. We charge a 10% commission. Hey, comment. Let us know what y'all think. And hey, we see y'all soon.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.